Are you ready to record now? What are you doing?
I'm playing air guitar, man.
Okay. So I guess you made the noises because it's an audio podcast, so you had to make the noises. Otherwise, no one would know you were playing air guitar, right?
I was also 100% moving my hands.
No, I could actually hear the movement of your hands. Like, I got that your body was moving.
Oh, wait, it's just an audio show? People can't see us? I don't have to wear this tuxedo every time?
Is that a thing that you do?
Well, not anymore.
Well, I do enjoy a sharply dressed person, so I have no problem if you do wear tuxedos. You go for that.
Okay, talking about air guitar. This seems like an incredibly obvious thing to talk about, but then I read how Wikipedia defines it. So let me just read this for you.
Ooh.
Air guitar is a form of dance and movement in which the performer pretends to play an imaginary rock or heavy metal style electric guitar, including riffs, solos, etc. Playing an air guitar usually consists of exaggerated strumming and picking motions and is often coupled with loud singing or lip syncing. Air guitar is generally used in the imaginary simulation of loud electric or acoustic guitar music.
It's a lot of words and unexpected things. I didn't know that air guitar, included loud singing a lot. Isn't it just pretending to play guitar with your hands?
I mean, opposed to what, your feet?
Why would you?
All right, let's get into the history.
Musical pantomime has roots back to the 1860s, but then it was considered a mental illness.
Oh, no.
Yeah, in the 1930s, musical pantomime became more popular thanks to the phonograph. People would listen to music in their homes and shadow conduct, pretending to lead an orchestra.
I love that.
I prefer shadow conducting to air guitar.
Yeah, it feels very formal. They could borrow my tuxedo, is what we're saying.
They would need it.
In 1969, British musician and singer Joe Cocker brought air guitar into the mainstream when he mimicked playing both guitar and piano at the Woodstock Music Festival during With a Little Help from My Friends, which he covered a year after the Beatles put it out.
It's a pro move. That cover reached number one in the UK in 1968. It's a very, very good version of the song if you've not heard it before.
It is. I found it on YouTube and it's it's pretty awesome.
It's a very different song. It doesn't sound like the Beatles song at all, and so they kind of stand alone. It's probably why it was able to reach number one just a year after the Beatles put it out.
The term air guitar became popular in the 1980s after students held one of the first air guitar contests at Florida State University in 1978.
During the 80s, multiple contests took place across the United States and, of course, Sweden.
Of course.
Starting in 1996, the annual Air Guitar World Championships have been held in Finland as part of the Oulu Music Festival. They are big air guitarists over in Scandinavia.
Over time, the Air Guitar World Championships took over attention from the festival itself, and now the organizers, because they're business people and they knew how to pivot, they oversee the Air Guitar World Championships network of official national championship competitions.
These competitions, these contests, they are way more complex than you think, and we're going to get into them after this break.
This episode of Ungeniused is brought to you by Pingdom from Solar Winds. Do you have a website, Mike?
I do.
Me too.
Good. We have a website together.
Websites are complicated. They have contact us pages, registration forms, shopping carts, search fields, goes on and on. And if you have those things in your life and your work, then you need Pingdom because no one wants their critical website transactions to fail. That means a bad user experience for people visiting your site and could mean lost business. But the good news is you can set up transaction monitoring with Pingdom. This monitoring will alert you when cart checkouts, forms, and login pages fail before they affect your customers and your business. Pingdom will let you know the moment any of these fail in whatever way is best for you. You can customize how you're alerted and who is alerted depending on the outage severity. Or if you Relay FM, it's just me. There's no one else. Pingdom cares about your users having the smoothest site experience possible, and if disaster strikes, you'll be the first to know. It's super easy to get started. Just go to pingdom.com/relayfm right now for a 14-day free trial with no credit card required. When you sign up, use the code UNGENIUS at checkout to get a huge 30% off your first invoice. Our thanks to Pingdom from Solar Winds for the support of this show and Relay FM.
Air guitar contests use a 6-point scoring system, which was the judging system used in competitive figure skating until 2004. It is a ranking system that ranks participants from 0 to 6, with 6 being the highest possible mark.
Wikipedia didn't go into detail about how the air guitar people, like, why did they come up with this? Like, oh, we'll just use the one the figure skating people use. That seems like a good system. I'm very curious about that link.
We could tell our contest is most similar to their contest. We found it.
Air guitar competition judges, which are people I desperately want to meet, are required to score people between 4.0 and 6.0 in 4 different areas.
Hang on a second. Hang on. What's the point of having 0 to 6 if the scoring is between 4 and 6?
Well, you don't even mean.
But, like, what's the point? Why not just have a 2-point scoring? Anyway, never mind.
So the first area is technical merit. How much the performance looks like real playing, including accurate reproduction of fretwork, chords, solos, and technical moves. You can't just get up there and flail your arms around. The second area is mimesmanship. How convincingly the performer can mime their performance and create the illusion of an invisible guitar apart from the technical accuracy of their fingerwork.
I guess this is like adjusting the strap or something, right?
Plugging in the amp.
Then we have stage presence, which measures the charisma of a rock star, their ability to rock, lack of stage fright, and the power to drive thousands of listeners, which involves guitar showmanship and other emotional demonstrations. Lastly, there is, quote, airness, which is the most subjective criteria. Basically, this is how much the performance was an object of art by itself, not only just a simulation of playing a guitar. Effectively, can you transcend
That's right.
air guitar and create a whole different thing? That's what they're scoring you on.
I love this so much. Each participant has to play air guitar on stage in 2 different rounds, each round lasting 60 seconds. In the first round, participants play a selection of their own choosing, and usually the songs have been edited down to fit the allotted time.
Now get this, in the second round, every participant has to play the same song, which is kept secret until the round begins, so everyone has to improvise. I assume this is pretty difficult with the technical thing. Like, if you don't know the song, how are you supposed to look like you're playing the song?
I think you just go all in on airness.
That's it. You just double down on airness.
That's right. Each participant plays alone with no real or air instruments forming a backing band.
Hang on a second. How would like a backing band of air guitarists and drummers actually help them?
You look way cooler on stage when you're with your friends.
You know what? I guess so. Like safety in numbers, right?
That's right. That's right. Participants are required to play air guitar, air drums, air piano, air saxophone, and anything else you can mime. That's all strictly forbidden. However, cool clothing and props are encouraged, but don't use a guitar pick because they're also against the rules.
As of all things, technological innovations have made their way into the air guitar world. In 2005, the Helsinki University of Technology, probably could have been using their time more effectively, but nevertheless, they developed a system that translates hand movements into electric guitar sounds, resulting in a functional air guitar through the use of a pair of brightly colored gloves and an infrared camera. It's been developed into an exhibit at the Helsinki Science Center because, as we know, Scandinavia, they love air guitar.
Can you add that to the Ungenius road trip?
To go to Helsinki? Yeah, sure.
Okay, while you book our flights, let me tell you about the Australian government's Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation. Seems like a serious group, but they developed a t-shirt that senses human movement, including the motions used when playing air guitar.
2 years later, toy company Silverlit introduced the V-Beat air guitar, which was comprised of a motion-sensing guitar pick, which, as we know, is illegal in real competition, a neck part with 4 buttons, and a guitar body that could be used to mimic playing a real guitar.
Okay, I like to call foul here. You've just built a guitar,
Yes.
right? And also, it invalidates the entire idea of what we're talking about.
Yeah, just play Rock Band.
Well, speaking of Rock Band and Guitar Hero games like that, in 2008, Jada Toys introduced the Air Guitar Rocker, which featured a belt buckle that picked up motions created by air guitar strumming with a magnetic pick, and it was marketed alongside Guitar Hero, and I'm sure lots of kids enjoyed it.
Lastly, there is Air Guitar Move, an accessory for the iPhone and iPod Touch. Users hold the phone in one hand and a motion-sensing guitar pick in the other. Based on the motions of the hands, the Air Guitar Move software is able to recognize air guitar movements.
We truly do live in the future.
A version of it, yes.
I'd like to thank Richard for sending this in. Airness is something I'm just going to be thinking about for a long time. If you want to learn more about air guitar or the 6.0 system or anything else we talked about, go check the show notes in your podcast player or head over to the website relay.fm/ungenius/99. While you're there, you can sign up to become a member to support the show, or you can get in touch with your own favorite topic. You can send us an email from that page, or you can find us over on Twitter. The show is at Ungenius. You can follow Mike there as IMYKE, and you can follow me as ISMH. And until next time, when we're judged between 4 and 6, Mike, say goodbye.
Rock on, Stephen.
Adios.